Welcome everyone, I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and now that all of the film has been watched and all of the grades are in, it's time for the Football Game Plan Scouting 2018 NFL Draft Prospect Preview. Before we get started with our prospect rankings, here's how we gather our grades and what they actually mean. First, we watch a minimum of 3 full games on a player, a prospect's best game, his worst game, and the best or intriguing matchup. And second, we grade on 15 key points specific to the position to equal 100 points in total. Now, here's what the grades that you'll see by a prospect's name will actually mean. Prospects that earn grades in the 90s graded out as future NFL All-Pros. Prospects in the 80s are considered future Pro Bowl players. Grades in the 70s represent solid NFL starters, and grades in the 60s are players that we believe are spot starters in the NFL. And if you notice, we don't use the word reserve or backups because we personally feel as though that there are no such thing as backups in the NFL, only starters in waiting. So without further ado, let's kick off our prospect rankings by taking a look at our top 10.
Another Georgia Bulldog headlines our linebacker rankings. This time it's Lorenzo Carter on the outside. The 6'5", 243-pound outside backer has elite level athleticism and is very comfortable playing out in space. He has great ball get off and wins a lot of battles because of that and also his tremendous length. Although he can stand to use some more strength, he's an above average run defender and also has a lot of upside left in his game. Rashad Evans of Alabama is a talented backer that doesn't miss many tackles. In fact, if he touches the ball carrier, he usually goes down in an instant. He's not much of a pass rusher outside of green dog pressures, but all the other aspects of outside linebacker play, you won't be steered wrong with Evans patrolling the second level of your defense. Harold Landry of Boston College has been a stud since his freshman season. I've seen a lot of him live over the years, and each season he has added a bit more nuance to his game. He's one of the best pass rushers, if not the best pass rusher in this draft class, and shows great athleticism in getting low and around the corner. I think he's better off the ball because of his point of attack strength is not where you'd like it to be on a down-to-down basis. He's not awkward in space and will be a terrific player as a pro. I enjoy watching Jermaine Edmonds of Virginia Tech play. He has excellent pursuit skills going sideline to sideline. He's another one of those prospects whose length causes problems in the passing game and also against the run. Now, he's not the pass rusher that some want to believe because of how he's built, but he is a guy that I think that can serve multiple roles on the defense and is a very good form tackler as well. Rounding out the top 5 is Jeff Holland of Auburn, another strong pass rusher in this group, finding many ways to get to the quarterback. He's a little stiff and his pad level can be high at times, but he's functionally strong and a good point of attack player, which makes him very stout versus the run. Taking a look at the rest of the top 10, and 2 FCS prospects in Darius Leonard of South Carolina State and Darius Jackson of Jacksonville State are great athletes that bring something unique to the table. Leonard improved in coverage this season to go along with his great sideline-to-sideline speed, and Jackson has a knack for getting to the quarterback and applying pressure. He and Javon Roland-Jones of Arkansas State are also capable of putting their hand in the ground in certain situations. Both Marquise Haynes out of Ole Miss and Uchenna Nwosu out of USC are what you would classify as quote-unquote football players that just find a way to get it done on a consistent basis. Aaron Tiller of Southern was a rush in for the Jaguars throughout the course of his career and was one of the top pass rushers in the FCS. Now at 5'11", 250, he'll be making a move on the outside as a pro and has the athleticism to make that move seamlessly. He also has some reps on the inside as well, so he has that position flexibility that you want coming from a smaller school. I'm a big fan of Pat Afriyie of Colgate. He's another talented pass rusher with a great sense of timing at the position. Afriyie was the 2016 ECAC Defensive Player of the Year and slowly got better each and every season for the Raiders. Now, he battled the injury bug throughout the course of his senior season, but when he's healthy, he's a terrific football player. Here's a look at the rest of the prospects 11 through 20. The football IQ of Mike McCray of Penn State is outstanding. He gets great run fits and takes away gaps, and I think he's the best sandbacker in this class, and he can also hold his own in man coverage versus tight ends and some running backs. Matthew Thomas and Shaquem Griffin out of UCF are solid all-around backers that have great awareness and athleticism, and to be honest, Cameron Tarver out of California PA's game is very similar to that of Mike McCray. Funny that he did it in the same state as McCray, just at the Division II level. He has great point of attack strength. Kamoko Ture out of Rutgers has flashed stellar pass rushing potential throughout the course of his career. You just want to see it on a more consistent basis as he moves forward. And I think a guy like Jerome Baker out of Ohio State fits the weak side linebacker position extremely well, as he is strong in coverage and is a very good athlete. Matthew Oplinger of Yale was the Ivy League's Defensive Player of the Year this season. I think he's better on the front side. His read and recognition skills are where they need to be. He uses his hands extremely well and is a very good player versus the run. Now, he's not overly twitchy, but somehow he is able to consistently find his way to the quarterback. C.J. Johnson of Division III East Texas Baptist is a name that you'll start to become a bit more familiar with as the pro day circuit kicks in. The 6'2", 240-pound outside backer has a great first step and is a very fluid athlete. Now, although he essentially played as a rush in college, I think he's best suited as a weak side linebacker as a pro. Ed Shockley of Villanova looks to be the next in a long line of talented second-level defenders coming from the Wildcats program. I believe he can play all three backer spots and is solid in all aspects of his game. Here's the remaining list of prospects 21 through 30. Richard Jarvis had a solid showing at the Senior Bowl this year, and that was actually the runner-up to the Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year award. He's a TFL machine that has set up shop behind the line of scrimmage, often at Brown. Fred Warner was a bit of a mixed bag on tape, but was outstanding in Mobile at the Senior Bowl. You hope that the latter is what you'll see more of as a pro. Same with a guy in Deshaun Downey out of UMass. He flashed enough on tape to draw you in, but you want to see it on a more consistent basis. And if Sky Moore can get back the burst he had prior to that knee injury, he'll be a steal for someone in the latter part of the draft. And rounding out our rankings with 31 through 34, Jonathan Peterson of San Diego terrorized opponents in the Pioneer League throughout the course of his career, and I know many offensive linemen are ecstatic to see him graduate.
So that's a wrap for our 2018 FBGP Scouting Draft Prospect Preview. To see more of our individual scouting reports, follow us on Twitter at FBGP Scouting and bookmark the page footballgameplan.com/FBGP Scouting. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan, where you can get all of our scouting videos, mock drafts, and NFL draft prospect videos. And one more thing, subscribe to us on iTunes under the Football Game Plan podcast, where you can find the Scout Team podcast, where we interview multiple NFL draft prospects.